Hi, class. I want to talk today about Jill and the question of moral responsibility. As Velasquez points out, there are three basic elements to moral responsibility, or to determining the moral accountability of someone who has committed an immoral action. First of all, in order to be considered responsible or accountable or guilty of having committed an immoral action, one first of all has to do something which is immoral, or fail to do something which would prevent an immoral action from occurring. That's the first thing. And the second point is that one must do so knowingly. One must have full awareness of the facts in order to be truly morally accountable. But one must also be aware of the standards of moral right and wrong. Thirdly, a person must act freely, of their own free will. Only then can one say that one is morally accountable or morally responsible. So if we look at the case of Jill, Jill was asked by her employer, her boss, to take a sealed envelope to a competing firm. She had the suspicion that maybe something illegal was going on. Is she morally responsible for carrying out her boss's request? The answer effectively is no. Unless she has some really solid evidence to indicate that her boss is doing something immoral or illegal, then she has no reason to suspect him of doing immoral, illegal things, unless he has some history of doing this, in which case he probably would not be her boss. So first of all, she has no knowledge of the fact that what she's doing is wrong. Secondly, she does not have perfect freedom in this case. She has to obey her boss because that is her contractual obligation. So she's not truly free. Her first duty is to obey her boss, to carry out his request, because that's her job. Now, if in fact he's asking her to do something which is highly unconventional, something which is totally outside the realm of what she normally does, and if there are other extenuating circumstances which indicate that maybe this is something strange, then surely she might be advised to seek some sort of guidance or information from other knowledgeable people in the firm who could tell her if this is sort of business as usual or if this is a rather odd request. The problem with doing that is, suppose her boss is trying to get business for his firm. Suppose her boss is trying to actually elicit some sort of bid from a competitor and they've asked for information, in which case, if she's actually then found questioning her boss, going behind his back, causing trouble for him in a sense when there's no trouble, then she will definitely be in a bad light. She'll be perceived to be a troublemaker or insubordinate. So her safest course of action, without any other information given to her, is to carry out her boss's wishes, in which case she is not morally responsible for whatever happens because she's just doing her job. Now, having said that, some of you raised the issue about her legal accountability, and that's another issue altogether. If her boss is really engaged in insider trading or something, if he's doing something illegal, then it probably is dangerous for her no matter what she does, because if she tries to question him, he may try to get her fired. If it comes out that illegal insider information is being passed to this other company, then her boss will probably try to pin it on her and say that he didn't know about it. In any case, she could be in trouble legally if she's actually involved in a situation where she's doing something which is actually illegal. But she doesn't know this. So morally, she may not have any responsibility whatsoever without any other outside information, but legally she may have problems down the road. So in terms of those who answered that she is accountable if she's doing something illegal, actually she's not morally speaking. Morally, if she has no reason to suspect her boss, then her best course of action is to carry out his wishes, because that's her job. And that is what her moral responsibility is. It is to carry out her boss's wishes, as long as they're not immoral or illegal. All right? So I think that answers the question. This question of moral responsibility, though, is very important, because the things that diminish moral responsibility are one's knowledge of the facts. If you don't have complete knowledge of the case, the less knowledge you have, the less responsibility you have. Also, if you're unsure about the moral implications of a certain situation, or the moral standards of a certain society, in fact, then it also reduces your moral accountability. Also, the amount of freedom you have, whether you are being ordered, coerced, blackmailed. When there's a lot of pressure being put on you, this also reduces your moral accountability. So those two things, freedom and knowledge, determine the extent to which someone is morally responsible. One final point is that when we're talking about really serious things, however, like someone's life being in danger, where people can be hurt or killed or injured, then this raises the standard of what is expected from someone in terms of analyzing their behavior and their actions and thinking about the consequences of what they're doing. Okay? So those three things. You must do something immoral or fail to prevent something immoral from happening. You must do it knowingly, and you must do it freely in order to be held completely morally accountable for what happens. Okay, thank you.